Going to head to Wales because Eluned Morgan begins her first full day in office today as the First Minister of Wales. Appointing a new Health Secretary is expected to be top of the agenda.
Yeah, Ms Morgan previously held the role herself from 2021 and has now become the country's first ever female leader. And she joins us now from Cardiff. I'm very pleased to say good morning to you. Welcome to your new post. It's taken 25 years, but Wales does now have a female First Minister.
Yes, and it's about time too. It's wonderful for young girls throughout Wales to have a model now, I hope, that they can aspire to, that they can see a representation of themselves. And I do think that this is an important moment in Welsh history. What's top of your to-do list? Well, I've got a very long list. The first thing I want to do is to make sure that we can avoid, if possible, the kind of disturbances that we've seen happening in England. And we're not complacent about that. I've already asked for a meeting with community leaders and the police. Obviously, I'm very concerned about the situation in relation to tartar steel as a major industry in South Wales that is very much under threat. So we'll be working with the new UK government on that. And also, of course, the pay issues. Great to see that the new Labour government have made some decisions on that. We need to look at the detail of what the offer's been in England, and we'll be looking at what we can do then in Wales. But we have had a much better relationship traditionally with our colleagues in public services in Wales. We've had a lot less industrial action here because we work closely in social partnership traditionally.
You will know it's your area of specialism. It has been, is health. You will know that there have been questions about the Welsh Health Service. Around a fifth of the Welsh population are on a hospital waiting list. How are you going to tackle that?
Well, the fact is we have about 2 million contacts every single month in Wales in a population of 3 million people. So the vast majority of people get an excellent service. But we do have to do more to tackle those longest waiting lists, despite the fact they've come down already by about 70% since the peak of the pandemic. But we've got a lot more work to do. We do have plans for that. Obviously, I'll be appointing a new health secretary, but I hope it'll be helpful having had that brief to make sure that I can really keep the pressure on in terms of getting those longest waiters down.
And surely that will be what voters and people living in Wales will want to hear. It's been a very turbulent time, particularly within Welsh Labour, obviously for people who aren't aware. Vaughan Gething, your predecessor, was in post in March, resigned in July after an issue involving hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of campaign donations from somebody who'd been convicted of an environmental crime. So it has been difficult. It's been difficult within your party, unity within your party. How are you going to restore trust, I guess, with not only the electorate, but also with the party and bring everyone back together? Well,
I've stood on a ticket along with my colleague Hugh Davies as a Deputy First Minister to bring the group back together. And it's been amazing, actually, the kind of response we've had to that. Unanimity within the group now that we need to put those troubles behind us, look to the future, but actually just to respond to the needs that people want us to do. So we'll have a listening exercise over the summer, making sure that our priorities are the priorities of the public. We'll come back with a fresh new set of ideas in September and we'll get going. We've only got 18 months to the next election and we'll be absolutely focused on delivery every step of the way.
Yeah, you mentioned it there, the clock is ticking till the next election, and as you say, sort of 18 months, so not a lot of time to really get everything back on track.
Well, and actually we are going to be challenged because there are financial limitations on us as well, despite the fact we now have a new Labour government in Westminster. I do hope that will make a difference. You know, already the relationships are so much better than they were under the Conservatives. So we hope that will help, but really focusing on those bread and butter issues that really matter to the people in our communities. That's probably the direction of travel, but I want to hear from the Welsh public over the summer to make sure we've got that right.
And just to get some clarity, one of those issues that we always hear about here on Breakfast when it's been brought up is this issue of the 20-mile-per-hour speed limits which were imposed in in residential areas in Wales. Been very controversial. What's going to happen with those?
Well, we revised the guidelines on that, so we have listened to the public on that. It's up to local authorities now to listen to the public in their particular communities. There is no blanket 20 miles an hour situation in Wales. I live in the far west of Wales. I travel for 100 miles to Cardiff every week, and there's only half a mile of that entire section that is 20 miles an hour. So we are talking about built-up areas only in terms of 20 miles an hour, but there are clearly some streets that have gone into that 20 miles an hour area that perhaps should be go back to 30, but it's up to the local communities. But what I will say is that actually we are seeing it's making a difference. So the initial statistics suggest that actually the number of accidents have significantly reduced. So the policy is making a difference, but we know it's a sensitive issue for the public in Wales.
First Minister, good to talk to you. You've got a busy summer ahead. Thank you for joining us here on Breakfast.
Diolch yn fawr.